Today I will be reviewing After Effects CS 5.5. Um, this type of review, I will show you a sample edit I made, and I will just go over the tools I used, and I'll also mention the drawbacks and the advantages of using the software instead of Sony Vegas and Final Cut.
Bullseye.
Alright, to start off, you will first need to make your composition. So you go in composition, new composition, and this right here is basically your plan. So I would name this as if I'm making the edit for computer science. You you basically over here you show the quality you want. So I put 1280 by 720p. The frame rate, some of my clips are 29.97, so I'm gonna have to use this, or I'll be using 60. And you can really use anything over here, as like just depending on what you want. So this is what I'm going to be using. This half resolution doesn't matter, so don't worry, and we're gonna click OK. Okay, since now that's done, we need our clips. So I'm going to be using completely different clips, but the same song. So let's say we just take this and we drag it onto here, right over here. And the song also over here. If it would go. Yes, alright. So you just drag them on over here, and this can be anything. This could be your sound, whatever you want to use. So you just drag this on the composition over here, and you also drag the clip over here. So the clip will show as a preview over here to just show what you're doing and how it looks like when you render it. So now we have our clip and we have the song. I'm not going to be going over all the effects I've used, but I will be going on the most important effects or tools that I believe that is not only used for editing gameplays or COD montages, but also editing in general using After Effects. One really important tool I believe that is generally used is the color correction. So in order to add color correction, you'll need to go to layer, new layer, and adjustment layer. This adjustment layer over here basically like if I add a color correction on this, the length of this adjustment layer will add the color correction to the clip. So now I have the adjustment layer. I will go to effect and go to color correction. Gamma and hue and saturation honestly is the only thing that would be good to use. Everything else is just minor differences. However, I don't often use this. I use Magic Bullet Looks. It's much easier and you can get much better color corrections of this. This is not from After Effects, you have to download it. However, using hue saturation, you can just play around with the colors. You can change this. You can make it maybe, don't overuse an effect, it'll just look really bad and unprofessional. But you can, if you want to do black and white, maybe if it's a dark song or just a dark mood edit, then I guess you can do something like this. This is just a quick color correction. Do not expect that color corrections are easy and fast. To get a perfect one, it'll take a really long time. Alright, the next thing I believe is really important is obviously one of the most simple ones, text. Now you can do 3D text or you can do normal text, 2D. In After Effects CS 5.5, motion tracking isn't really that good. So if you're more into motion tracking, I recommend CS 6. And for my edit, I used something called Cinema 4D, and I just motion tracking is really bad in CS 5.5. But normal text works like this. So you just click on the text, click on where you want it. I write computer science. And you can obviously pick your font and all that. And once you're done, you click on the screen, click on this, sorry. And you can just, play around with the size. You can change the font, you can change the color. You can do anything. So let's say if I don't like lobster, I'll just, let's say, put chalk duster, like that. So I'll just put that over here, and yeah. We'll be talking about the audio. So we don't want any background noise from this gameplay, so we just simply click on this, audio, and drag it all the way to -48. We will add our own sound effects for the gun, and this way it won't be unpleasant to the ear while playing a song while there's a gameplay noise. So just take that out, and for this you can click for syncing, because syncing is really important in COD editing or in editing in general. So you can click L, go on waveform, and you see these beats. You can always, like, let's say, put an effect on each one. This way it just, I don't know, it goes with the flow of the song. You can also zoom, so if it's nothing as simple as this, you can zoom and try to see where exactly it is. If you want to be very specific, you can look at the frame it starts. So let's say I wanted my clip to start once that thing hits, once the song starts. But really this isn't that important. But if you ever wanted to do syncing at the beginning or just anywhere in general, you should click L, waveform, and see how the beat is playing. I'm going to show you an effect, and actually using effects you want to sync it with the song. So for example, I want on this beat right at the beginning, I want it to flash. So what I would do is go layer, adjustment layer. However, I don't want the whole flash to be during the whole video, so I'm going to do it at the beginning. And to stop, I'll just press Command Shift D, sorry, and just delete. So we've got this adjustment layer right here. And if you want to be too exact, you can zoom, and yeah, that looks about right. So now the effect I like to use is CC Light Burst. It's not really a flash, but it's kind of similar. So, and we would want to put this under the color correction. So now we have this flash, and I don't know why this edge, but so we have this flash now, and basically you can customize the effect. You can use any effect and just customize and play around with it. But what I like to use is when it flashes, I like it to be a big flash, and I want to keyframe it. So it's big first, and I click this, and then it gets smaller as the music gets lower and lower. So we can put this at 0. I don't think you will be able to hear the song, But if I preview it, so you click this to preview, and now it's just doing a mini render. Hits the beat. It was a quick flash, sorry, but as I hit the beat, it flashed. So what I should have done is just made it a bit longer so it was noticeable. Yeah, it's kind of noticeable. But yeah, basically that's how you'd use it. You can also do ray length, whatever you want. And also the reason why I put this at half, also in the composition, is when you're previewing, if you put it at full, it takes a lot of time. My computer is really bad, like it's 6 years old, and just putting it in a half helps me to save a lot of time when I'm editing. So in general, I just like to put resolutions down, but at the end I put it at full just for a last checkup. Last effect, because I'm running out of time, is the black bars at the top and bottom. People tend to use in edits. However, you can also use these black bars as a transition. So first you want to go to layer, new, and then click on solid. 1280, just make sure these are all correct. It usually is, so just press OK. And don't worry, all you have to do is go on the search bar and put CC JAWS. What this is just basically JAWS. So if you want to do a transition, you would keyframe it and like it would bite and then open again in a new clip. However, we don't want that. We want the black bar, so I generally use 90. Don't use more less than 70. It just looks too much. The height and width you put all the way down so it looks straight. And basically this makes your edit look nice, I guess. But and make sure the black solid is above your color correction and above all your effects. So every time there's an effect, it's under the black bars. Obviously, as I said before, the drawbacks of CS 5.5 is the motion tracking. However, what I love about this program is that in each effect, there's more effects inside. You can literally do anything. What I don't like about Final Cut and Sony Vegas is it's kind of strict on how you can edit. So this allows you to do anything you want, allows you to become creative, I guess. And that's what I just love about using After Effects. I have used Final Cut before in Sony Vegas. I just simply didn't like them. Um, Also, what I didn't like about this when I first started with After Effects, it's all dark and black. I was so confused when I first opened it, but it's actually very, very simple once you understand keyframing and just play around with loads of effects. And now the thing, last thing, I have to show you how to render it. So how would I export this? So let's say this is the edit you want. You go to composition and then add to render queue. And then once you add it to render queue, this is where you output it to. So I put edit for computer science. Best settings. So this is basically the settings you want. I put best everything, full resolution. Basically the best ones. Frame rate I'll put 60, but since mine is 29.97, I'm using 29.97. The output module, people make loads of mistakes over here. Do not forget that you need an audio output. Make sure that's ticked. Make sure that what I don't really know about audio, but I always use uncompressed. The video, make sure it's the highest quality, and what I use for MP4 is H.264. Don't use animation. H.264 for me is actually much easier and quicker to render. Animation takes loads of time and it's not even worth it. And also the format if you want QuickTime, but I want mine to also work on Windows, so I'll use H.264. and then I just press OK and simply click render, and then it will just show the time, and once it's done it's output and you can just quit the program.